Have you ever, I mean ever, peacockishly strutted your stuff?
How do you show up? Do you show up and show out? I'm your host, Eric Brown, and with me, Mr. Mike Jones.
Hey man, I got them feathers out today.
Oh man, I love this topic because there's a difference between cocky and confidence.
Okay, oh for sure, for sure. I hope we can touch on that as we get into this a little bit and explain exactly what you mean by that because I feel like I may be able to learn something from that as well. But we really want you to examine the question that we asked. When was the last time you peacockishly strutted your stuff for others to see the accomplishments that you have made in your life? I'm gonna tell you that I have coached so many people that in the conversation that was always a connection to them truly recognizing that they were really concerned about what other people thought about them and how sometimes they played to that. And I just recently gave an example to members of my team that really kind of addressed that. So Debbie and I were traveling. I think we were in St. Louis, and a gentleman walked up to me and asked if I was Mike Jones. Immediately, I was feeling so good in that moment that I'm in St. Louis and somebody recognizes me in the airport. And Eric, in that moment, I recognized who this gentleman was. He was actually a city council person from the Houston area. So as we connected, he recognized and remembered all of the things that I did as a Houston police officer, helicopter pilot in the community, how I worked in the schools. I had a TV show and a radio show. And then he asked how things have been since I left the police department. And man, I got my peacockish feathers out, Eric. I spreaded them out, baby. And I talked about all of the accomplishments that I have made. I was doing everything that I could to impress this guy. And I asked myself the question in the moment, and the question was, WTO, Mike Jones, what's the outcome of attempting to impress this guy? I mean, for what reason? And that was a void there, y'all. That was no reason at all that I could come up with why I had just taken out my peacockish feathers and I was strutting my stuff around. So I absolutely want you to answer the question for yourself. Are you living your life with your peacockish feathers out, more concerned about what other people think about you, finding ways to get people to accept you or to be okay with you? Because I'm going to encourage you to pluck those feathers out and absolutely be more concerned just about being your authentic self. And if people respect and approve of that, then you're 100% going to be in a place where you're not going to have to be concerned about what people think about you.
Yeah, so I believe that a lot of people out there want to be liked. I mean, for whatever reason. I don't know if that's something that we were taught at a younger age or what. But what would you say about kind of the internal versus external barometer and what you've taught children over the years?
Yeah, and you know, quite often what we have learned over the many years of doing these programs is that most of us are walking around with an external barometer. Let me tell you what I mean by that. It means that we are judging how well we are doing in the world based upon an external barometer that is focused on how others are doing in the world. We either have confidence from the result of thinking or feeling that we're doing better than somebody, or we are absolutely going to be down on ourselves because we feel that we are not doing as good as somebody else. But when I take that barometer, and I'm telling you, this is absolutely the most valuable lesson that we can teach you through this podcast. When I take that barometer and place it internally, then my measure of my success, my measure of my beauty, my measure of my confidence, my measure of how well I'm doing in the world is based upon the best that I have done and my choice, my absolute commitment to be outside of my comfort zone and best my best. So I can celebrate that thing that I have 100% control over, which is myself, as I now am focused on identifying the best that I have done things and finding a way to get out of my comfort zone, take some small steps, get some small wins, and continue on an upward trajectory as I focus on becoming the best version of myself that I possibly can.
Yeah, and that's what we teach here at Discover, and affirming yourself, giving yourself a high five, and then if I get a high five from someone else, that's a value add. But I didn't need that to feel good about what I'm doing and what I'm accomplishing.
Yeah, and when I'm only concerned about the high fives that other people are giving me based upon their recognition of the things that I have accomplished, as in the case in the St. Louis airport, the guy gave me a high five. And if I was only concerned about getting high fives from other people or attaboys or whatever that is, then I absolutely will never truly get to a place of feeling good about myself.
Yeah, and Mike, I think it is important to point out that this is an inside job. So others may not see the journey that you're on and the steps that you've been taking. So whether they see that value of that or not, if you're affirming yourself, you continue to grow and you can put those peacock feathers away.
Absolutely. And I have to reaffirm what Eric just said, because it is so important when you are doing this work and you have had the courage to place the barometer inside. This is absolutely an inside job. Personal growth is an inside job. Becoming more self-confident, feeling more worthy of the things that are going on in your life. If there are things outside of you that are creating that, he or she who gave it can take it away. And in many cases will, when you're not performing in the way they want you to. So eliminate the possibility of ever experiencing that again by taking that barometer and placing it internally and absolutely taking control of your successes, your failures, and everything that you're truly going to accomplish moving forward.
So show up, show out with enthusiasm, do the things that you want in your life, and let affirming from others just go.
Absolutely. Because I'm telling you, baby, if you are not living your life out on the edge, you are taking up far too much room. So once again, baby, I'm telling you, if you are not living your life out on the edge.
Apollo, come here. Come here.
Time out. Okay, go ahead.
If you are not living your life out on the edge, you are taking up far too much room.
Put those peacock feathers away.
Here we go now.